and it's brought to you by Youth Poll Initiative in collaboration with Fat Corner. My name is Gideon Oguniye. I am the project lead of Fat Corner project. At Fat Corner, our motto is empowering youth towards a better Africa, and therefore the aim of our talk shows, interviews, and debates is to educate young people in Nigeria, in Africa at large, on their roles in politics, in leadership, in governance, and nation building. And you can see the previous editions of the debates and the presentations that we've done on Fat Corner talk show by following us on social media. You can see Fat Corner on Facebook, FACT in uppercase, and Corner in lowercase on Facebook and on YouTube. And you can also visit our website, www.fatcorner.org, to know more about Fat Corner project.
Well, thank you, Gideon. My name is Fisayo Oluba, and I'm the team lead of Youth Poll Initiative, aka Youth Poll Nigeria. So what we do at Youth Poll is engage youth progressively in community development and civic responsibilities. You can follow at Youth Poll Nigeria on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So thank you. Thank you, Gideon. So we are talking 2023 election, right?
Yes. So let me introduce the program to the audience. So this talk show, Meet Your Candidates, gives Nigerian electorates, especially the youths, which are the major audience that we both have on Fat Corner and on Youth Poll Initiative. So our aim is to give them the chance to know the people that are vying for public office in Nigeria. And we're going to start from those that are vying for the position of the president, and to give them a sense of who these people are. So our focus will be to give the electorate objective analysis of the profiles of these candidates, their manifestos, and also their antecedents, and to discuss why these things are important. So I think, Fisayo, where we can start is to start talking about why do we need to analyze the candidates' profiles? Why do we need to analyze their manifesto? Why do we need to analyze their antecedents in office? And I think I will start with the manifesto. Why is the manifesto important? Because all of these candidates, they have released their manifesto. So why is it important for people to go and look at those manifestos?
Yeah.
If you are talking about manifesto is a published declaration of the intentions and motives of these candidates. It contains the set of policy the party and the candidates wish to implement if they are elected to govern. It's like a promise that imply contracts between them and the people, and they present to the voters before they sort their votes. So I would say it looks like when you want to enter an agreement with a business agreement, or you are renting an apartment and you are given a contract. So manifesto is just like that contract that you need to read through to know what is inside, what this candidate is promising.
The expectation of the people.
And before you sign, what do you want to say on manifesto, Fisayo?
Exactly, a manifesto, as you just analyzed, I would say it's like a plan. You are actually trying to convince the people. You are showing them this is my plan and this is what you should expect if I'm being elected as the president of Nigeria. That is all what manifesto is. And in recent times, let's say past times, I think most of these manifestos, the question is, as all these presidents, those that have led the country, were they able to meet up with this manifesto, this plan they promised Nigerians?
You raised a very good question there, that have they been able to meet up? So what you are trying to say is that beyond the manifesto, we also need to think about the personality of these people, look at their experience, look at their competency, their honesty, their compassion, the leadership ability they have, because all of these are important for us to be able to judge whether they will be able to fulfill what they write on their manifesto. And that is the second thing that we'll also be doing on this program, Meet Your Candidates. We analyze the manifesto of these candidates. We also talk about their personality characteristics, and what are the relevant characteristics that I think people should be looking at. They should be looking at their experience. Do they have the experience? For example, somebody that wants to be president, does he have the experience to, does he have previous experience that we can count on? Honesty, things like morality, compassion, competence, and leadership ability. And what we are trying to tell the voters is that they should be able to form an image of the personalities and abilities of these candidates, and their perceptions about how competent, how experienced, how honest these candidates are should influence who they will vote. And that is saying that we should not base voting on sentiments like religion or things like ethnicity. We should be looking at the things that matters in leadership, which is the experience of the person, the honesty, the morality of the person. So
I will come in.
Okay, yeah, come in there.
Yeah, you were talking about the experience. We're also talking about why people should not put in religious, right? Religious aspect to judge who should be elected. I think this is something that has actually been affecting our democracy in the past years. And I think it's not something that is going to go easily. I won't lie to you. Because if you look vividly, you see a lot of controversy, you see a lot of, let's say, I will call it counter projection for other candidates, like opposition parties. For an example, like the APC presidential candidate now, picking someone from same religion. You can see people have been talking about this over time. You can see the other political party like Labour Party and the rest. You see that when they pick someone that is from the central, like central, they will have to pick a vice president that from either south or from the east when they carry actually from the north. So this has been like a kind of tactic. Political clans, political parties. And it has actually been working on Nigerians because they believe this is some. So when talking about when to put aside the religious or tribe, and something that is going to stay for long. It's not something that
yes, well, I'm not saying that we should not give consideration to making sure that the parties have balanced tickets, such that if the presidential candidate is from the north, the vice presidential candidate should come from the south. We should give consideration to that because of the multi-ethnicity and the diversity that we have in Nigeria. But what I'm saying is that beyond that, we should think about the experience, the competency, the honesty, the personality traits of this candidate, and put that above whatever sentiments we can have when it comes to their religion or their ethnicity. And that is what Nigerian politics should be driving towards. That's what the electorate should be looking out for. So that is what makes a knowledge-driven kind of politics, not politics that is based on some things. People can choose any religion they want, and I think we should not assess their competency to hold a public office based on whatever religion that people choose. So I think it's important for us to now talk about how to check out candidates that are contesting elections. And I have like a short, I have some points on how people can check out candidates. The election season is already heated up now. The campaign is heated up, and you'll be bombarded as a voter with information from candidates, from television interviews to television ads to articles in the newspaper to social media posts to tweets. There are so many information that you'll be bombarded with as a voter.
And propagandas too.
And propagandas, and that one travel very fast on social media. But
honestly,
yeah, but what are the ways that you can cut through the clutter and help yourself to become an informed voter? The first one I will talk about is explore the candidate's website. So go to their website to see where they stand on hot button issues. So what are the hot button issues? For example, in Nigeria politics today, I would say security is hot button issue. I would say unity of Nigeria is hot button issue. I would say economy is hot button issue. And you need to look at their website, try to get a hands on their manifesto and see where they stand on these issues.
And a lot of it.
Infrastructure, like a lot of it, but I mean, right now, I think security, education, and
corruption. We must not dodge that. See, corruption has actually drained this country. Like corrupt practices, even up there in all those important aspects of our economy. Corruption has actually eaten up Nigeria. Yes,
corruption is hot button issue. So you should be able to get their stand on how they want to tackle the issue of corruption. So their website, number 2, some of these candidates are incumbents. They are already occupying a political office. Some of them have been elected or appointed into public office before now. So another thing to do is to use Google to research their antecedents.
I want to ask you a question. Do you really think people have such time having to go to website?
You see, that's where the problem is. The problem in Nigeria is that people don't actually give in adequate attention to those important things. They just go with the noise and not with the issues. They don't usually go and look at the website of the candidate, the party. For example, if I'm going to vote any candidate, if that candidate in the 21st century, in 2023, does not have a website, or the party does not have a website that articulates their plans, and I read through and I'm informed that this is how they want to address hot button issues, key issues, I'm not going to vote for such candidate. But I'm not saying that every one of us should go and look at their website. But I mean, we can use Google to try to find out what are the achievements of these people when they were in office, if as an incumbent or somebody that's been elected before, or what are the issues they concentrate on. And most importantly, we should find out the controversies that these people that surround their term in office. So, for example, if I don't want us to go into the candidates now. We'll do that later, but. For me, that controversy is very important. The website of the candidates, their people should Google their antecedents, the controversies that surround them. I think the third thing is that people should attend campaign events, including town hall. For me, someone like me, I would not attend campaign rally because, not that I'm saying that it's not good, but I prefer town halls because I believe that town halls give me the opportunity. Is a smaller platform. It's not as crowded as campaign rallies, and campaign rallies is just like a jamboree between the candidates, the party, and their supporters. But town hall is one that gives you the opportunity to participate, to ask questions directly. And you can get a response from the candidates. So I would prefer town hall, but I'm not saying registered party members should not go to their campaign events. Another thing I would do is to drop in their campaign office. I mean, all these candidates, they have campaign office that is close to you. So you can drop in there and try to I mean, these candidates want your votes, so make them work for it. Try to speak to them in the campaign office, their team members, and try to get your question answered or about issues that matters to you. And I think this is also very, very important. Another thing, and I think this is very important, is to fact checks. I mean, these people are making a lot of claims. They are making a lot of claims and saying, I've done this, and this is my response to this. And you need to find out if those things are correct. And there are a lot of platforms, reliable platforms that are already doing those fact checks. There is one I follow on Twitter. So when Peter Obi goes somewhere and says something, I'll go on Twitter and try to see if they have fact checked the things that he said on that platform. All of this is helping our democracy, is helping our electioneering process, and it's making us to become an informed voter. And lastly, I'll go to trusted sources, trusted websites like BBC, like Bloomberg, even some of the local ones in Nigeria, channels, The Nation, and try to see
AIT.
And try to see what they need to say about these candidates.
I wanted to just I wanted to talk about this thing, what everyone should be looking out for. Then I'm going to give my opinion about all these things you actually mentioned. So I'm listening.
Yeah, okay. Okay, come on, you can join the conversation now. So
you were talking about this thing. You said visiting the website of candidates, then also probably going to town hall meetings, or not the campaign fields or campaign rallies. You also mentioned about going to the party offices, right? Campaign to ask questions and the rest. All these things you all talk about now, it's all the right things to be done. But let me tell you, do you think this actually decides who really wins the election? In the Nigeria we are now, I'm just trying to be realistic here. Do you know that, I don't know, I believe this 23, a lot of things is going to change. Do you know that most people that actually vote, over 50% of voters are those that does not even do all those things, are those that don't even go out to social media. They don't visit social media at all. They don't participate in a lot of let's say political activity.
Let me cut in there. So you're saying that like 50% of over. But I mean, you don't have the statistics. It's not that you have the statistics somewhere or you have done a study.
Statistical for last elections, but this election, you know.
So you have the statistics that 50% of voters in Nigeria don't have social media. They don't use Google. They don't. I would like to see that statistics anyway. They don't use Google. They don't know how to use their mobile phones and things like that.
I'm going to share that maybe on our next segment. We have a lot of segments. I will share it.
Yeah, of course. I would like to see that on the next segment. But what I'm saying is that if you look at this current election, 2023 election, I think huge percentage of people that will be voting will come from the like educated, so to speak, this thing, because I think the issue of voters apathy, where only small percentage of eligible voters participate in the process, I think we are coming above that now. I think right now, I think people are participating. I think people are excited about this coming election. And I think people that are non-conventional voters in Nigeria, people that don't believe in the system, I think they are beginning to believe in the system. And this is one of the things that you get from good laws. I think the Electoral Act 2022 that was passed into law, I think it kind of opened the eyes of the people to think to see that they can actually make impact. Their votes will count.
Yeah.
And to see the introduction of the use of technology like beavers, I think it gives people some sort of confidence, hope, trust in the system. So let's see how 2023 elections will turn out. But I'm sure it will be a lot improvement over what we have in 2019, where only about 35 or between 35 and 39% of the registered eligible voters actually came out to vote, I think we will be hitting over 50% in this coming election.
Definitely more than people.
Yeah, and I think a lot of educated voters will come out this time around. So what we are saying is don't let sentiment, religion, ethnicity, tribe, things that doesn't really matter, determine who you will vote for in this election. Why don't you take time to go to their website, see what their opinions are on hot topics, and see what the antecedents are, see what the fact checkers are saying about this candidate, and see what is being written about them. I think you want to talk about collection of PVC, Fisayo. So why do people need to talk about collect their PVC? I think we need to continue to remind people of the reasons to collect their PVC.
Yeah, of course. Like the turnout now, like I'm in one of these programs that is ongoing, a campaign that is ongoing, which is Go Vote. Make we go vote. That is the full slogan.
Make we go vote.
Yes, but we hashtag it Go Vote. So according to Go Vote, right now, we still have a lot of centers where people didn't get their PVC. Another thing is transfer of votes is actually one of the factors that is affecting people to get their PVC. A lot of people transfer but they were not able to locate how to get this their PVCs. It's one of the campaigns. So what we do is we are trying to, give them the words where they go. Now there's a particular comment yesterday on the platform when a particular youth said he went to the INEC and they said you should go to social work to go and collect PVC. And normally you're supposed to be able to collect your PVC in the headquarters of the INEC in your region.
What you are saying is that there is still a lot of work to be done.
There's still a lot of work to be done.
Voters' education, especially how people need to go about collecting their PVC, especially those that have done transfer. You call it transfer of votes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you think I'm not sure if INEC is doing is up to speed when it comes to voters' education, considering that we have 4 weeks or 5 weeks left to the election? Are we sure? Can you say that INEC is doing what they are supposed to be doing?
I think they are. I think INEC is doing what they're supposed to be doing. No dispute about that. But the government too has a lot to do. Like now, although the governor just declared that he's giving like a when is that? I think 20. This is 25. Starting from 25, it's going to be free work day. So people will be able to go and get their PVC. Same as Ekiti governor, same as Lagos. Lagos also did that, announced that a while ago. Yeah. So, and this will also help.
Okay, before I talk about the major reasons why people need to go and get their PVC, do you want to give us like an overview of the procedure now? I mean, what do people really need to know about going about collecting their PVC? So from what you have been working on. Yeah.
Okay, so getting the PVC now is it's as good as a lot of people don't even know who to contact if they want to get their PVC. I would like to say go to the INEC website, but people are having difficult. I think in this day people are so they don't really want to do that. They are so, I won't call it like procrastinate, like I will visit today, I'll visit tomorrow. Then you don't visit the INEC portal to check where you can locate your PVC. So what you do is social media is actually doing a lot because of these campaigns. We have Go Vote. We have there's one campaign to We Vote. We have a lot of campaigns. So if you can check out these.
So if there's anything that is not clear to you, social media is, people don't know the power of social media. Social media is a very strong tool to get almost everything you need. So let me emphasize, why do people need to collect their PVC? Number one, it gives you opportunity to exercise your civic rights as a citizen of the country. It gives you right to decide who will be your leader at the ward level, at the state level, at the local government level, at the state level, and also at the national level. Without PVC, you cannot vote. And
Most people talk. If you don't have VC, you don't even come here. We don't need here.
Yeah, INEC has been emphasizing this, that without a PVC, you cannot.
How can you be calling yourself a responsible Nigerian, a citizen, and you don't have PVC? Come on, get out.
I mean, the PVC is even like an effective form of identification. I mean, it's like an ID card. So if you don't have driving license, you don't have any other means of identification, you go and collect your PVC and you can use it.
PVC is even free for that matter. If you want to do driver's license now, do you know how much you will send? PVC is free, and it can give you the courage to come out. If you are electing a leader and did not perform, you will, you'll be proud to come out and say, I elected this person. Why is he not doing the right thing? Why is he not meeting up with the manifesto, with the agenda to promise Nigerians? You will have to be a because you actually participated in the election.
And also for the fact that it's an instrument of change. I mean, it's like, okay, I have an instrument that I can actually use to effect change in my country. So votes don't count. For example, I was watching the are you going to vote for? And a lot of people are saying, no, I'm not going to vote because my votes don't count. And I think that misconception is still in Nigeria today. People don't actually know that their votes count. So they just believe that they don't need to go out, but vote.
This time around, most of them have actually come out. They are conscious this time around. I can see that. I can bet that people, politicians wouldn't pay people to vote them if the vote does not really count. So now let's talk about the offenses like bribery and the conspiracy surrounding vote buying. The election. There are offenses and the penalty. If they catch you selling your vote, just know that if people call it's even EFCC that's coming out now. EFCC, they are the one that they have been dispatching to polling units now. So if EFCC just catch you selling your votes like this, or one party agent trying to buy people's votes, and you were caught with some money, then you are in trouble. Just know that you end up with 500,000 naira penalty and 12 years imprisonment after conviction.
So if somebody wants to collect 5,000 naira to sell his votes, and the person is caught and is asked to pay 500,000, and you cannot raise that 500,000, the person will be going to prison. So I think this time around, people should know that this. Continue.
That actually is under Section 124 in the Electoral Act 2010. Yes. Yeah. Electoral Act 2010.
Even if you don't have time to go and read that section of the Electoral Act, you should listen to what we are telling you now. We are warning you now. Don't sell your votes and don't try to buy votes. If you are caught, they will put your face on social media and you will go to prison. And the thing is, I destroy you because, I mean, what can you do when you have already been convicted? What can you do? So,
do you know what these people will say? I'm even laughing. You know why I'm laughing right now? There was this particular election. I think the governorship election in Ondo State. I was one of the observers. Do you know that we have some elderly women going to one party agent, fine from one to another, bidding with them? How much are you paying us? So do you think that we actually also?
So what you have is people trying to negotiate that. Oh, if this party is paying 5,000, this one is paying 10,000. I will go for the one that is paying 10,000. And if you turn votes to commodity that can be bought, and politicians understand that votes is commodity, is commodity that can be bought, it gives the politicians a sense that these people don't deserve anything because you have already sold your votes. So you can't sell your rights and be demanding for accountability or be demanding for responsibility from politicians at the same time. So people need to know that The 5,000, the 10,000 is not going to solve their problems, the problems they have over the years. What will solve their problem is voting for credible candidates, and I'm not sure credible candidates will bring money to the post to buy your vote. If anybody is trying to buy your vote, just know that that person is not a credible candidate. And even if it is Labour Party or APC or PDP or AAC or NMPP, any political party that their agent comes with money to buy your vote, just know that that party should not be voted for. And we are telling you this on this program. Please don't forget to drop your comments in the comment section. Don't forget to help us to like, to share this content on, if you see it on Youth Poll Initiative, you see it on their Facebook. Do you want to tell us your Facebook handle and your YouTube?
At Youth Poll Nigeria. Just search Youth Poll Nigeria.
Youth Poll Nigeria. So yeah, and also on Fat Corner. So FACT in uppercase and corner in lowercase. Help us to like and to share this video so that people will know that we've won them, or that don't go and sell your votes. If you sell your votes and they catch you and you're unable to raise 500,000 for your fine, you are going to make decisions on whether Showore is fit enough to be president of this election. Yeah, I can hear you. So okay. when we started the program, I was talking about why it is important for people to look at the profiles of these candidates and to look at their manifesto. So what we want to do now is try to give people a picture of the profile of these candidates, what they need to, the basic things they need to know about these candidates, okay. Especially the presidential candidates in this election. So I will start with Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Before you comment, I'm so sorry. First thing I want people to know is that we have 18 candidates contesting right now. In case you don't know, we have 18 candidates.
18 candidates for the presidential election.
In this presidential election, 2023 presidential election, we have 18 candidates, which is one of them is a woman. So you know me,
So are you trying to say we should go and vote for the woman candidate?
No, not at all. I'm not saying that. What I actually mean is that, so as a feminist, this is a slap on our face. So how can only one woman be contesting for president?
How can only one?
Out of the thing, Abba.
And I think we had more than one woman in the last presidential election in 2019, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, we have one, but let's see how it goes. We'll also talk about the profile of this woman and see, and so that people will know that there is a woman contesting. And if all the women in Nigeria can unite and vote for that woman, I'm sure that she's going to be the winner of the elections. So let's
Are you whining me? Okay, let's be realistic this time around.
What I'm saying is that if all the women that have registered to vote in this next month election, if all of them vote for that female candidate, she'll be the president.
Okay, let me believe that though. It's beyond I would say that it's beyond that level. Because even when you see a young man, even an experienced man coming out to contest, you still see Nigerians saying that does he have the quality?
Yeah.
So we have not gotten to that level of exposure that you would actually give a woman a chance to lead.
No, I think beyond the gender, I think people should look at competence. They should look at the profile. They should look at the antecedent of the people that are contesting. So I think that's what we are emphasizing on this show, and that's why we want to start talking about the profile of the candidate, starting from Bola Ahmed Tinubu of APC. So he was born in 29th March 1952. So but now he's 70 years old. Some people say he's from Osun State. Some say he's from Lagos State. And he studied accounting at Chicago State University in the United States of America. He's worked with some American companies according to his claim. And I said it's important for people to fact check, actually. So he's worked for Arthur Anderson, he's worked for Deloitte, he's worked for GTE Services Corporation. He was employed by Mobile Nigeria as an accountant in the early 80s. He was a senator for Lagos West under SDP in the brief Third Republic between 1992 and 1993. And he was an activist for the return of democracy. He was part of the National Democratic Coalition movement, NADECO. So those of you that doesn't know about NADECO, go and Google NADECO and know how they fought for the return of democracy. And that is on the CV of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was part of the struggle for the return of democracy to Nigeria in the early 90s. And he was forced into exile in 1994 but returned after Abacha's death in 1998. And he was governor of Lagos State between 1999 and 2023 under AD. Yeah, I used to be AD in 1999 up until 2003, and he was also governor between 2003 to 2007 under AC, Action Congress. So he played a key role in the formation of APC, All Progressive Congress, in 2013, and people perceive him as the godfather of Lagos. So let me continue with what I was saying. So that is the short profile of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Then let's talk about the controversies surrounding this guy. And I think people surrounding this candidate, and I think people should be aware of this as well. Accusation of corruption, inconsistency of his personal history. People have questioned his age, his educational qualification, family name, history, things like that. And there was a recent exposure of his drug deals in America, which allegedly that was involved in drug dealing, and that he forfeited $460,000 to U.S. Authorities, and that he was a bagman for 2 Chicago heroin dealers in the early 90s. So this is one of the controversies surrounding this candidate. And there is also the case of Code of Conduct Bureau trial for operating 16 separate foreign accounts, and that came up in 2007. And another controversy that people are putting on that ticket is this Muslim ticket. But what is your opinion on this Muslim? Me, I don't think it's a big issue, to be honest. I don't think it should be a big issue if you have already balanced the ticket. If you have already balanced the ticket north and south, right? So when it now comes to the issue of religion, maybe we should not be bothered about that. I think we should be more interested in the profile of this candidate. Does he have the experience? When it comes to experience, he has the experience, right?
He has the experience.
Because he's been senator, he's been governor for 8 years, he's been in the private sector and moved to the top. He's been part of struggle for return of democracy in Nigeria. So that's also on his CV. And yeah, so people now need to weigh that profile with the controversy and see and make an informed judgment. What do you think?
I think Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if we must say, is competent enough to lead Nigeria, because when we compare population of Lagos and Ghana, I think Lagos is about 22 million, right? And Ghana is about 24. So there's no more difference between Lagos State and a particular country. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu was able to transform Lagos from the usual Lagos we know them. Lagos, before, when you are working in Ocho, you have to hold your purse tight to your chest like this. If not, if the person will drive you like physically.
That one you are saying, I lost my phone in Lagos, in Computer Village in 2012. I just came back from UK. I forgot that I'm in Nigeria, and I was in Computer Village.
Because they did some.
So I just put my BlackBerry in my pocket, and within 5 minutes, the phone was gone in the Computer Village in Lagos.
Okay, so, I must tell you, it should have actually been worse than that. If he didn't put up a lot of policies that he did. You can see step up a lot of departments, especially when it comes to all those unions. He has some unions, those street boys, area boys, he turned them to useful instruments in Lagos. You know, putting them into various units of Lagos. I think Lagos, they did some, it did last fall. There's something that's called, is it last fall or something? I think there's something like that. There are different departments in Lagos, and those that are actually working.
So what you are saying is that Tinubu has brought down the level of criminality in Lagos.
Yes, in Lagos
during his tenure and after his tenure.
The other governor that came, the actual build on what
on his
foundation he led, yes, they built on that, and there's major infrastructure in Lagos, if I must comment. So Lagos is like a country on its own. When you are talking about,
but when you are talking about infrastructure, me personally, I don't think the infrastructure that we have in Lagos meet up with the level of the revenue that the state has in terms of the IGR. And when you are talking about Lagos that can be a country on its own, it's supposed to be a mega city. It's supposed to be among the top 10 cities in Africa in terms of infrastructure, in terms of neatness, in cleanliness, in terms of organization, in terms of governance, how people feel the governance, in terms of their healthcare, in terms of their education, primary and secondary education. So if you look at all of these, I am not sure whether Lagos can be among the top 10 in Africa when it comes to infrastructure. So, but people need to investigate this, and you can drop comments on this video. People need to let us know whether the level of infrastructure we have in the last 23 years under Tinubu's administration and under the administration of his proteges, the people that are building on his foundation, whether that infrastructure development matches with the revenue of Lagos and also matches with what the population should have if you are talking about over 20 million people. So let's move on. So this guy is contesting for president.
There's something I want us to discuss about Bola Tinubu. You know, people, there's also another aspect of his age. You know, that's actually caused a lot of let's say a lot of controversies for him to his age, and you can see recently a lot of proofs on social media where we'll be shouting about blah blah blue, where he'll be saying Shetani regime on the campaign ground and the rest of it. Do you see these things?
I think they are important. Yeah, I think they are important, and the reason why they are important is because people should be able to verify that what you claim is actually what it is. So if you say you are born so year and you are 70 years old, just give the people, if they are asking that question, just give the people that opportunity. Give them that information. Give them verifiable information that confirms your age. And if people are raising questions about your mental health, about your mental capability, about your health, your health status, give them that information. They need to know. And we need to get to that level in Nigeria where politicians feel accountable and responsible to the people. And they feel like they need to answer the questions that people are asking. Because at the end of the day, you want to be hired for a job, and the people must have that sense that they are the one that are hiring you, that your employer. So if I go to an interview and my employer is saying, "Tell us about your health status," I'm not going to say I don't want to discuss it. I have to let them know. So if these questions are there and this question persists about Tinubu's age, about Tinubu's health status, I think he should answer those questions.
I think
and if he doesn't answer the question, it should affect his votes, right?
I think I should come in. See, you might say him not answering the question will affect him, but I think answering the question will have more effect, negative effect on his campaign. So it's always better for him.
So what you are saying here is that he should not answer the question for political reasons.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he shouldn't answer the questions. But what I'm trying to say is opposition will definitely use anything you say as a contestant. The opposition will definitely use them against you. Okay, now they are saying he's not 70 years old. Now that they are saying health-wise he does not fit to lead the country. So you want him to come and tell you this is the health problems I've been having. Then opposition would build on that.
I think if somebody says that I don't I'm older than older than the age I'm claiming, I think if I keep quiet about it, I think it's more damaging to my political ambition than actually come out with facts. Except if I have lied about my age. If I have not lied about my age, I think if people are saying I'm older than what I claim, I think how I can shut down that controversy is to actually go and bring verifiable record of my age and say, look, this is me in 1996. Look at this picture and judge my age. And this is my age mate. We were playing together in the same street. We were playing football together. And go and verify the age of that person. And that person will say, look, I know Gideon. We used to play football together in Oshosami in Ibadan in those days. And I know that we are age mates because we're in the same class. So give those information to people. And I think it is good. It's good for your political ambition than to keep quiet. When you keep quiet, then the opposition will even spread more lies based on your quietness. So I think people should, except if he's hiding anything. But if he's not, I think he should talk to the people.
But to me, I don't think that actually have any effect on elections. I won't lie to you. You know me, I've always been on the field and seen what is happening on the election day. I don't think that's actually had any impact on elections. Coming out to say this is your real, this is not thereabout. And there's another thing I want to mention here. You know, you were saying they should come out to declare their age and that. I think Nigeria over past years, in every sector, there have been people lying about their age, especially when you go to football aspect too. You can see everywhere now people say, I want to use football age. Nigerians has always been like that. And to change the narrative, not something that will come in just one day.
So what I would say in that aspect is that people should stop lying about their age because they might get away with it now, but when it comes to contesting for public office, people will dig out all those information and they will use it against them. So people should just know about that. I think we should move to Sowore. Let's talk about the profile of Sowore. So he was born in February 16, 1971. So that means he's 52 years. He's from Ondo State, Southwest Nigeria. He studied geography and planning at the University of Lagos between 1989 to 1995. He was president of University of Lagos Student Union between 1992 and 1994. And he was active. He was active in student unionism in those days. He was suspended because he was because of his student activism, and that made him to spend extra 2 years as a student. Then he furthered his education for his master's degree in public administration from Columbia University. He founded Sahara Reporters, a media organization known for investigative journalism, human rights activism, and pro-democracy campaigns. So this is what we know about Sowore. I want to ask you before you say what you want to say. I want to ask you. So this profile, just this profile, does it fit to be president? Do you think he has experience to become president? He has not been in any public office, but we've seen records of his fighting for democracy, of his activism that speaks to his character, to his morality, to his conviction that things has to be done in the right way, and his courage and courage. So all of those ones speaks to courage, that he wants things to work fine. He has master's degree in public administration, and he has also founded an organization that all of us know that is doing very, very well when it comes to investigative journalism. Sahara Reporters has exposed a lot of corrupt politicians in Nigeria, and EFCC and other anti-corruption agency has used what they get from Sahara Reporters to actually prosecute some of these corrupt So this profile, is he enough? Your opinion, is he enough to become president? Yeah. I think there's a problem with your network then.
And you see people coming, it's a good product, but it does not really have that experience when it comes to elective positions, like being elected into any office whatsoever, maybe councillor of chairmanship or state assembly or the national assembly or whatsoever. He has never contested those positions. How can he just jump and say he wants to go to presidency? I must tell you, there's one fact that is so clear about Sowore, which you didn't mention. He was NAS president.
We are coming to that. I mean, I think we will come to that under controversies to see to analyze some of the things he did as NAS president. So
he was NAS president, right? Yeah, he was NAS president during the MKO Abiola June 12 struggle. That time, he was closely working with politicians. I would say he saw through all this thing called governance. He saw the lapses, he saw the struggles. You know, he was part of it. For him to have the audacity to come out and contesting for presidency, he has seen a lot in that period, and he has gotten a lot of, he even fled for his life. He was one of the people that fled for their lives when the Abacha and the military people were after them for all the disruption of the protests.
To be honest, I see that as a plus to him, because at that young age, if you're already at the forefront of activism in Nigeria, at that age, you're already being identified with great politicians like MK Abiola. You're already you're already running away from the country because you are fighting military administrations. I don't think many people have that kind of courage in their.
Do you know that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was not doing more than he did, because Asiwaju too was part of that struggle. Dr. Chegun, I work closely with Kind in the past years, Kudura Initiative for Democracy. In the office there, you see the list of the June 12 martyrs, the June 12 fighters. There, you see all those pleas there, like Dr. Shegun Mayegu, he was part of it.
So what we are saying is that Sowore has always been there. He
was in that level.
He has consistently contributed to the return of democracy in Nigeria.
Yes, I think he was in that level. In that level of experience with all these people we mentioned. He was in that level of experience with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The only difference is just that he didn't lead the state, like maybe contesting for governor or or holding an elective position, but I believe he had the experience to it.
Yeah, he has the experience. So people saying that because he has not contested elective positions before, that means he is not competent, or he doesn't have the experience. I think they are wrong. If you take past president like military dictatorship that we used to have in Nigeria, like Gowon, what experience did Gowon have before he became the head of states at 29 or maybe less than 30 years old? So what experience did he have? Even Buhari in 1983, what experience did he have? Or someone like Obasanjo and all those people. So at 52 years of 52 years, and for more than, if 1992 to this time is about over 30 years, for more than 30 years, you have consistently
governments.
you have consistently participated in Nigerian politics in fight for the return of democracy. I think that is.
And not only fight for return, any government that is not doing well, Showore will come out to call you out.
And up to date, he's still doing that. He calls them out, criticize, even when it affects his own personal freedom. He's been sent to jail because of this before. So let's talk about some of the controversies surrounding Showore. So he led democracy revolution now, right? So he was charged with conspiracy to commit treason and insulting President Buhari in 2019 after he was arrested for planning a nationwide protest. Also, he was involved in several agitations to demand democratic government taking over military. That can be controversy anyway. All of us agree that military administration should go. So he led protests before. He led 5,000 students in 1992 to protest against Nigerian government, during which police opened fire on protest. That cannot be controversy. I think the only controversy I'm seeing here is the revolution now protest. And what do you think about this one?
I think why they call this controversy, I think, this one, they call them controversies. Why they call it controversies? When a particular government is leading and you are coming as an opposition, you are like an enemy of the state. Maybe how did they call it? There's one movie like that. So I would say you are like an enemy of the country to them because they are the government. Anybody that is president is number one citizen of the country. For you to come in and for you to come publicly and protesting against that government. So definitely you have made yourself an enemy of the country.
So it's a controversy when it comes to so it becomes a controversy based on whose perspectives. So if it is from the perspective of the people, I don't think it's a controversy. But if it's from the perspective of the military dictatorship or the government that is protesting against, and maybe from the perspectives of the supporters of that government, maybe some core Buhari supporters, we say it's a controversy to be organizing revolution now protest. For me, I don't see it as controversy because revolution now is just a tag name, and I don't see any evidence of this guy arming people with weapons or anything. He said, let's go and protest. And in a country where almost nothing is working, right? People should be protesting every day. So I don't see it as a controversy. So when we talk about controversies, it depends on who see it as controversy. And we'll always have different opinions on this. So what I'm saying is that people should try to look at.
I think the major issue I have with this protest is that there's no way there will be protests that there won't be, even if it's peaceful. Violence might occur and people might die. The past protest we had then, like it said that 7 people died. So the revolution, if it was it came to pass, they stopped him from having those revolution rallies. Do we call it rally or protest?
Protest.
And if you actually had those protests, I believe a lot of people would have died, just like the NSAS protests that were held across the country.
Yeah. Will you put the blame on the protesters, or you put the blame on the state and the federal government that will not allow people to exercise their rights? I wouldn't put that on the neck of Showore. I'll put it on the state repressive governments in Nigeria, in Africa, that doesn't want people to express themselves. So I think protest should be fine. Even in the UK, people protest. And last couple of weeks, I was seeing people blocking major roads and even stopping emergency vehicles from moving because they want the government to hear what they are.
Money in the past election.
Come again on the controversy concerning his party. Yeah.
I think he actually formed AAC.
He founded the party. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So this particular party, they were having like a faction. It became factional in the past years.
I think that issue has been laid to rest. I think the court has ascertained that Showore's faction is the authentic faction of the party. I think what happened was that when he was in prison, some people tried to hijack the party from him, and the case has been decided by court, to the best of my knowledge, and Showore's faction has been recognized as the authentic this. But I think the only one that I can add to that is that currently is the chairman of the party. He's also the presidential candidate. That to me doesn't look tidy enough. If you are contesting the presidential election, I don't think you should be the chairman of the party.
Of that party,
and also you are the presidential candidate. Is it that you don't trust other people to be chairman of your party?
I think I like
that makes the party look like one man business, right? If you are the two most important position of that party right now is the chairman of the party and also their presidential candidates. So if you are the only one that is that one, it makes it look like a one man business.
And do you know that that's actually had some let's say controversies about Atiku, right? Because they believe that how can the chairman...
That one is not that Atiku is occupying both positions, but they believe the region or the north is occupying both positions.
So for you to occupy both positions, not as if the chairman come from your region, but you as a candidate, you occupy the position and you are also the presidential candidate of that particular party. So I would say it's more like it's more like I would say it's more controversial than that of Atiku that brought the chairman from the north. When the 5G governor was actually saying the chairman of the party should come from the south, since you are the presidential candidate, you are from the north. So I think Showore, what I would say about that is, because of what happened in the past, he doesn't trust most of these people working with him, in the sense that our party is now.
Can you be president? Can you be president and appoint people to work in to head different ministry if you don't trust people enough within your own smaller party for them to occupy positions other than you? So if you have that issue within your party, does it portend you as someone that will be a good president when you now become president?
No,
does that mean that you will now become the president, the minister of petroleum, the minister of finance, the minister of education?
No. What I would say is that this is like it's just for a temporary period. He's trying to bring in more people, because of what happened. So he had to let some people, go. Those that was there before, he had to let them go. This thing happened to Buhari. There was time Buhari appointed himself minister of petroleum, right?
Still the minister of petroleum. Yeah, Buhari is still the minister of petroleum.
Why did he do that? Because most people that handles that position have actually used it to embezzle. They use it as a way to, now to steal public funds. Yeah. So I think with time, Showore, is trying to bring in his people. I believe is something that's temporary. Someone will definitely step in later as the chairman of the party of African Action Congress?
African Action Congress, yes, African Action Congress. Yes. Okay, so let's go to Peter Obi. He was born in 19